Hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome or welcome back to Unbound Soul Tarot. My name is Helen and I am so happy that you have found your way to me. If you are new here or if you are coming back to my channel, I welcome you all and I am thrilled to have you. So as you can see, we are doing a pick a card reading. And this time we have 4 different piles for you to choose from. Each pile is going to talk about your subconscious mind. We're going to look into your subconscious a little bit and see how it is benefiting you, or what is it doing that is actually good for you, and how it might be holding you back in some regard. So the 4 piles are as follows. We have pile number 1 with the blue lace agate. I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see the stone. Sorry, it's a bit blurry, but so it's this weird shaped blue lace agate. That's for pile number 1. Pile number 2 is Unakite. Yeah, I think it's Unakite. Okay. Then pile number 3 is Lapis Lazuli. And pile number 4 is Bloodstone. So there you have it. These are the 4 piles. If you already know how these pick a card readings go, then you can just go into the description box or the comment section and find the timestamp for your chosen pile and just go ahead and start watching it. But if you are not very familiar with pick a card readings, or you just don't know how to go about choosing, then I'm just going to talk you through it a bit. So basically, the best way to go about it is to listen to your gut, to go with your first instinct. What is the first pile that you feel instantly drawn towards or called towards the most? If you don't really have that kind of feeling, or you don't seem particularly drawn to any one pile, then even if you go just off of what gemstone you like the best, or what kind of appeals to you the most visually, or something like that, that might help you as well, because I am a firm believer that the messages that you need to receive, you will receive them no matter what. They will find a way to be heard by you. So yeah, just take your time. If you want to, you can meditate on the piles. If you want to just kind of pick randomly, that's fine too. Again, I do believe that there is a certain essence of divinity in these messages. So yeah, don't worry, you cannot choose wrong. Of course, if you feel drawn to more than one pile, that is absolutely okay. There may be several messages that need to come through for you, so watch as many as you like. Take your time, and whenever you are ready, you can go and find the timestamp in the description box or the comment section, as I already said. So happy choosing, and I will see you in just a sec. Hello, pile number 1. So you guys chose the blue lace agate. I love this little guy because he is so special. The shape of it is something special. But anyway, so I'm going to keep this beautiful gemstone over here. And as you can see, we have some more cards on the table as well. But we are going to start with these 2 cards first. These are the Psychic Oracle cards. And we are going to see, first and foremost, what kind of energy you find yourself in right now, what kind of a situation you are most dominantly in. And these cards are going to help you decide whether this pile is the right one for you. If you don't really resonate with these messages that are coming through, then most likely this is not your pile. You can watch further just to make sure, but generally the keywords that are coming through with these 2 cards should give you a pretty good indication whether this is your story and your situation or not. And that's okay if it's not resonating. Just go ahead and choose another pile. But yeah, so let's see. I'm going to put those up here for a second. Let's see what is going on with you. Okay, so we have accelerated motion and heartache and loss are coming through as your current situation. Okay. So it's not actually very surprising that you guys chose the blue lace agate specifically, because the blue lace agate is a very gentle stone, and I generally associate it more with the heart chakra, even though it is a blue tone color. So you would maybe more so associate it with the throat chakra. But to me, it is a very soft and gentle and nurturing stone, and that seems the kind of energy that you are seeking for or looking for right now as well. With this heartache and loss, it is evident that you are in the middle of nurturing a broken heart, or trying to kind of get over some kind of emotional blow that you have suffered, and trying to work through these difficult emotions, difficult feelings that are coming up for you, trying to kind of move past them as quickly as you possibly can, trying to work through them so that you could move on with your life. Because I feel like you may be someone who doesn't necessarily like to wallow a lot, who doesn't like to kind of get in the dumps and just, you know, put on some really heartbreaking, some really depressive music, and just kind of, you know, sit in those deep and heavy emotions. I feel that you are more so like just wanting to kind of snap out of it, wanting to just kind of get on with your life and not spend too much time being sad or being mopey, being, you know, very withdrawn. And like, I feel like that's not really your jam. You don't really like to do that. I'm getting a very strong like fire sign energy, so you may be a fire sign, or you may have a lot of fire in your birth chart. So you could be an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or have any of those signs as like major placements in your chart, but that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. I'm just getting a very fiery energy, which again is more so just, you know, wanting to live life from a more fiery, from a more passionate and driven place, rather than getting sucked and, you know, swept up in like these watery and very draining emotions. But I do see that that's kind of the energy that you are in right now. So yeah, whether you want to or not, it looks like you are kind of stuck dealing with these emotions, dealing with these difficult sensations that you are going through. And as much as you would just like to turn your back, put the pedal to the metal and just keep moving forward, I do see that there is something that is kind of pulling you back, something that has its claws in you, something that is not allowing you to do that. And kind of your emotions they're almost demanding to be dealt with, even though you would much rather just kind of get on with it would be the best way to say it. So let's see what we can find out from your subconscious mind. So the first two cards are going to show us what are the negative influences in your subconscious mind that are holding you back, and the other two cards are going to show us what are the positive aspects in your subconscious mind that are actually beneficial for you that you may not be aware of. So let's see. We have the King of Wands and the Ten of Wands. Yeah, see all of this fire coming through. And we have the Queen of Swords with the Wheel of the Year, or the Wheel of Fortune, in reverse. Okay. So straight off the bat, the fieriness seems to be something that at times weighs you down a bit, or at times makes your life more difficult for you, because there is this sense of restlessness, there is this sense of ambition and just wanting to move, wanting to take action, wanting to go after things and achieve and just kind of climb the ladder of your life, so to say. And it does seem to be something that, as I said, at times makes your life a bit more difficult, because you may be taking on a bit too much. You may be testing your resolve, putting your putting your emotions and all of that more sensitive side of you, putting that to the back burner, or putting that on the back burner, and just getting on with all of your responsibilities and all of your goals, all of your obligations or dreams, desires. And even though it's a good thing to be driven, it seems that there is something that is innately almost like embedded in your subconscious that doesn't allow you to take a break, or doesn't allow you to slow down and to kind of be with your emotions. There is almost this need to shut down that aspect of you, to not deal with that at all, or at least to deal with that as little as possible. There is this need in you to keep yourself busy, to keep yourself moving. It may be something that your father or another like father figure or patriarchal figure in your life may have kind of encoded in you in a way, or they may have really pushed this aspect on you that you need to achieve a lot. You need to be the best in everything. You need to be super competitive and like kind of make him proud, or like there was almost this expectation set on you from very early on that you needed to excel at things, that you needed to be the best, that you needed to succeed no matter what, and that there wasn't really too much room for any like sensitivities. It's just a very like super masculine energy that is coming through, and it's the kind of like almost like unhealthy masculine or somewhat toxic masculine that seems to have been pushed on you as something that is normal or something that should be followed. And what I mean by the toxic or unhealthy masculine is exactly the need to compete, the need to kind of fight others for what it is that you want, or just like not allow yourself to be human, not allow yourself to feel and to go through your emotions, to deal with your emotions. It's almost like that side is frowned upon, or that side of you is not valid, or there's something about your emotions not being accepted or not being validated that seems to have stayed with you from when you were younger. And it seems to be something that is still driving your actions today. Even though, as I said, it seems to be weighing on you quite heavily, and it seems to be draining your energy, draining your system, because you're not really allowing yourself to be human and to experience these emotions as they come. You're just kind of, as I said, I get this very strong feeling that you just kind of get on with things. You don't really wallow. You don't get all like, woe is me. You know, we all kind of need that self-pity moments at times. We need those self-pity moments at times to kind of get all of that negativity out of our systems. But I don't really see you doing that. And I feel like that's one of the aspects in your subconscious, a very major aspect in your subconscious that is having a very strong negative impact on you. It's wearing you down. And I also get the sense that you have the need to prove yourself to other people, especially to yourself too, but more so to other people. It's like there is this deep need in you to show others how much you are capable of, how talented you are, how much there is to you that maybe people don't even realize when they first meet you or when they first look at you. There is this deep desire to impress people. And I do feel that it is once again tied to this father figure or this very strong male influence that you have had in your life, especially when you were growing up, that has kind of encoded or programmed this need to please, this need to make someone proud. Like that kind of aspect seems to be coming from some kind of father figure in your life. And again, it seems that it is still very much with you. So even though in truth you are worthy just by being here, you are talented and you are amazing and you are incredible and you are special just by being you, because there is no one else on this whole planet that is exactly like you. And that in and of itself, as cliche as that sounds, is a huge thing. It is something to be super proud of. It is something to take pride in, and you don't really need to prove your value to anyone. You really don't need to do that because, as I said, you are already valuable. But that seems to be another aspect in your subconscious mind that is kind of playing a very huge part in your life. But now looking at the other two cards over here, some of the more positive traits in your subconscious mind that you may not realize are there. I see that you are someone who makes their own luck, someone who is very much able to stand up for yourself, to defend your views, to stand up for what you believe in, to stand up for your integrity. I don't really see you compromising that. You have your values, you have the things that are very important to you. You have the basis, the very strong foundation of your beliefs, your belief system, and what you operate, or the base that you operate from in this life. And as we all do, but yours seems to be very concrete, very defined, and you seem to not shy away from honoring those beliefs, honoring those values, and again, not compromising on them should anyone kind of stand up to you in some way, or try and undermine you in some way, or try and confront your views in some way. I don't really see you compromising. I see you standing very strong, full of resolve, full of determination to stand up for what is right. I also don't see you shying away from conflict, but it's kind of it's a healthy conflict. It's coming from a place of, again, like fighting for what you believe is right, for what is the right thing. Fighting for the change that you wish to see in the world. Because, as I said, you seem to be someone who is very much relying on yourself and on your own abilities to make your dreams a reality. I don't see you looking for any handouts or looking for any like charity or any, like, you're not expecting anyone to hand anything to you. There is no entitlement here. It is pure, just pure determination, pure drive, pure passion, pure ambition. But it is coming from a very, as I said, a very sincere place. You may also be someone who is not afraid to stand up for others. If you find that someone is being unreasonable or someone is being unjust, or there is some kind of injustice that is happening, I see you kind of standing up for those people or in those situations. So there is a lot of inner strength in you and a lot of morality, which is highly commendable. You seem like a very strong individual. You know exactly what it is that you want. And again, you're not afraid to go after these things. You're not afraid to conquer the world and do what needs to be done to get there. But at the same time, it's not coming from a place of greed or from a place of selfishness. It's coming from a place of integrity. It's coming from a place of what you truly believe in, what you truly want to achieve. You have a very clear mind about that. There are no delusions or illusions here. So that resolve in you, that ability to stand up for what you believe, to stand strong in your values and in your opinions and in your viewpoints, and to defend your goals or how you do things and why you do them the way you do them. All of those aspects are allowing you to succeed. The fact that you're not waiting for things to be handed to you or not waiting for things to just fall in your lap. It's clearly working for you. But again, there seems to be some room made for emotions here. So let's see what is the aspect in you that needs the most attention right now. Wow, we have rejection. So yeah, that seems to be a very close connection to this heartache and loss. It could be coming out specifically as this rejection card, because it might be that there is something, that there is some connection to this aspect in you that believes that you need some kind of validation from other people, that you need some kind of admiration from other people, or where other people kind of look up to you in a way. I see that being tied to this subconscious belief that you need to prove your worth, that you need to prove your value. And as I was saying before, it's clear that you are in the midst of some kind of emotional turmoil right now. Even though it is clearly very uncomfortable for you, even though you clearly don't want to be in that kind of state, because it's somewhat unfamiliar. You're not used to kind of wallowing in your emotions. You're not used to sitting with them. But it seems that this rejection, that was most likely the cause of this heartache and loss, that hit you pretty hard, because it hit this nerve in your subconscious. It hit this nerve in your subconscious mind that has been programmed to believe that your worth is somehow dependent on what you achieve in life. And so I feel like any sort of rejection is something that hits you extra hard, extra hard. Probably a lot harder than other people. Now, whether you actually show it, I don't really think so. Yeah, I'm also getting that you might not show that to other people, but inside, on the inside, you're going through absolute hell. Like, yeah, it's probably way more uncomfortable for you, way more painful for you, because it is tied to this subconscious belief of your value, of your worth. And you may really struggle dealing with that. You may not know how to deal with that, how to approach when someone doesn't see you for who you are, when someone says no to you. So again, we're getting pulled back to this subconscious belief that there has to be a change in belief. There needs to be some kind of shift that takes place where you start disassociating your own worth with your physical surroundings, with what is actually going on in your life. Because it seems to be taking a very big emotional toll on you. So this aspect of seeing your own intrinsic worth and loving yourself for who you are and all of your amazing traits, rather than everything that you have achieved or all the competitions that you have won or all the awards or merits that you have been given, all of those things, they have nothing to do with your value. So this sort of emotional connection with yourself needs to be strengthened. It needs to be mended, so that there could be, again, so that this link between your own worth and your material possessions or your accomplishments, that those two things wouldn't be like linked to one another in your mind. But let's see what the last two cards have. We're going to see what you can do to improve your situation with these cards. We have protection and gratitude. Yeah, so definitely it seems that right now your emotional space is really fragile. And again, even though you do feel so uncomfortable in these emotions, it's something that is very unpleasant for you and something that you may wish to remove yourself from as quickly as possible. Find distractions for yourself as quickly as possible. Maybe even drown yourself in work or in your projects to kind of not have to deal with these emotions. I feel like it's kind of the opposite. I feel like you are asked to look after your emotional body more, to handle it with care and gentleness, to really like offer yourself some serious emotional support. And I know that it may sound strange and kind of funny, like how are you meant to do that? But just by being patient with yourself, just by accepting and allowing your emotions to surface as they do, rather than feeling ashamed of them or trying to push them aside or push them down or ignore them, just accept them for what they are. Let them come to the surface. Feel what it is that you're feeling. It is okay to feel angry. It is okay to feel hurt. It is okay to feel ashamed or unworthy or all of those things that may be surfacing for you through this rejection or through this emotional difficulty that you're going through. It is absolutely all okay, and you have to start seeing that as well. Having your emotions come to the surface and being okay with them, not judging them, not giving them any kind of like not putting them in any kind of box or putting any kind of label on them, but just allowing them to be. And by doing that, you will be protecting your very, very fragile emotional body, as I already said, because it has been going through a lot of rejection on your part. So I kind of feel like this rejection card is twofold, talking about some kind of situation that you may have experienced with another person or some other people, but it is also referring to the rejection that you have been going through internally, where you have shut down or ignored your own emotions. So again, this need for emotional body or need for you to listen to your emotional body and to look after it is coming through very heavily. And there is also a very big need to show yourself the appreciation and this gratitude, to show yourself that you truly value yourself by looking after yourself, by pampering yourself, by paying attention to what your body needs from you, because it is talking to you all the time. It is giving you signs all the time. And if you kind of just push forward with everything that you need to do all the time and all of your ideas and all of your pursuits, then at one point it can be really difficult for your body to keep up with you, because it's not getting the need that it requires from you. So again, there are so many kind of recurring messages coming through where there has to be more respect towards yourself. There has to be more time taken out of your schedule and allocated to self-love and self-care. Really looking after yourself and letting yourself just be, giving yourself the time to unwind, to rest and to relax, to show appreciation to yourself, and to protect yourself, to protect your physical well-being, but also your emotional well-being, and most importantly, your emotional well-being. Self-care is a very strong keyword for you. Self-care. So again, not surprising that the stone that you chose, or the pile that you chose, is specifically featuring the blue lace agate, the gentle stone, the caring, the nurturing stone, because that is exactly what you need. And doing that, giving yourself that kind of attention, that kind of care, is what is actually going to help you move forward from this emotional, like these intense emotional feelings and this uncomfortable position that you're in right now. It is actually going to help you move forward from that a lot more quickly than ignoring those emotions or trying to suppress them somehow would. So yeah, that's where I'm going to leave you my pile 1. I truly hope that this reading was of use to you and that you got something from this that would help you in your current situation. And if that's the case, I would love to hear from you in the comment section. Please let me know how this pile resonated, and if you did get even one piece of like information or just something that inspired you or made you kind of see your situation in a different way. I would love it if you let me know somehow. And I would love it even more if you decided to stay on this channel and hang out with me in the future as well. So please don't forget to subscribe and do all of the liking and all of that, so that I would know that you like this kind of content. Okay? Okay, but I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much, and if I don't see you in any of the other piles, then I am wishing you guys all the best and sending you lots and lots of love and light. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 2. So you guys chose the Unakite stone. It is absolutely gorgeous, and we're going to keep it here for the duration of the reading. So as you can see, we have some more cards out here now, and we're going to get some very interesting insight into your subconscious mind. But the first two cards that you already saw in the intro, these two cards are going to give us a look into your current circumstances. What is going on with you right now? What you are experiencing. So if the keywords coming through these cards are not resonating with you, if these are not coinciding with what you are actually going through right now, then most likely this reading is not going to be for you. So you can kind of decide fairly early on whether these messages apply to you or not. And if you feel that this pile is not really resonating with what you're going through right now, then you can just go ahead and pick another pile. That's absolutely fine. So yeah, that's just a kind of helpful step for me and for you to kind of see where you stand right now. So let me put the cards aside for a sec. So let's see what is going on with you. Okay, we have the crown chakra. Oh, interesting. And we have destiny in reverse. Very lilac-y, very purpley and pink toned cards coming through. You may be going through some kind of spiritual upgrade. There is something happening in your spiritual journey, in your spiritual development. There is a lot of, I'm seeing a lot of like shakiness or a very shaky ground that you are experiencing right now. Because it does look like either your crown chakra is being strengthened, it is being intensified, where you are kind of becoming more into contact with your higher self and with the spiritual realm, or you are kind of going through some kind of leveling up process. But either way, it seems that right now things are maybe not making the most sense for you. You may be in a bit of a haze. It may actually even be that you're going through some more tough circumstances right now, some difficulties, some like complications or some problems or just challenges that you are facing right now. There seems to be a lot of uncertainty and a lot of problems that you have to deal with. You may be kind of feeling like you are getting hit with these different blows over and over and over again. Like there are just so many of these challenges coming up that you need to deal with right now. And it may be really overwhelming. But I do feel that in truth, it's all happening because you are letting go of some of these old paradigms that you have been in, and you are kind of leveling up in your energetic development. Now, if this is like a full-on first spiritual awakening for you, if this is the first time that you are actually kind of waking up, then I do feel like it is absolutely I don't want to use the word devastating, but it feels so big and so overwhelming. Like you just do not know what is happening and why these things are happening. And you may just feel like the world is going to shit and your whole life is falling apart. But for others of you, if this is not like a full-on like spiritual awakening, like the first spiritual awakening, if this is some kind of ascension or upgrade that you're going through, then it may be something that you are aware of that is happening. You may realize that that's what it is that you are experiencing, but it doesn't make it any easier. There is like this disruption in kind of on your journey or in your timeline almost. It feels like a major disruption where like everything seems to be crumbling away and everything that you were hoping for, everything that you thought that you wanted doesn't make sense anymore. or it's just, yeah, it just feels like a whole big mess. A whole big mess. So let's see if we can get some more information about what is going on with you. So we're going to look at your subconscious mind now. The first two cards are going to show us the negative influences that your subconscious mind is having on your life. And also the other two cards are going to show us the positive aspects of your subconscious mind that may be helping you, or that may actually be beneficial in your life, but that you may not be aware of. So let's see. Okay. We are starting off with the Page of Swords in reverse, with the Four of Swords in reverse. We have the Lovers in reverse, and the Four of Cups in reverse. I feel like the biggest aspect in your subconscious mind that is holding you back, or that is kind of having a negative impact on your life, a negative influence, is that you seem to be a very big worrier. I'm just getting the sense that you are someone who tends to overthink things very easily. You may be an air sign, because that's coming through very heavily here. So you may be a Gemini more specifically, or a Libra or Aquarius, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. There's also a bit of Virgo coming through as well. But most specifically, most generally, the energy that is coming off of these cards is more like air sign energy. It doesn't even have to be your sun sign. It can also be that you have like major placements in your birth chart, or very important placements that are in air signs. But as I was saying, it seems that your subconscious mind is driven by the need for you to make sense of things. The need for you to be able to decipher at all times what is happening, to have an overview of things at all times. But that's not always possible. And I feel like that's one of the things that you struggle with the most, because as soon as you can't make sense of things, you panic. It's almost like there is very little like belief or faith that you have. It's like you most strongly rely on your wits, on your brain, on your intellect and your logic. And when that fails you, when that doesn't have the answers that you are looking for, it's like everything falls apart. And I feel like that restless mind is something that is kind of overcomplicating your life at times. It's not allowing you to kind of just be calm and take a breather and see what happens. Instead, you start stressing out about things and grasping for things and trying to kind of take matters into your own hands, or try and get them under control. But in truth, you're doing that from a place of limited information. You don't have all the pieces. You don't have everything you need to be able to control this situation, because it's not meant for you to be controlled. Some things just aren't meant to be controlled by us, as much as we may want that to be the case. But you seem to try and do that anyway. And I feel like at times that kind of behavior may be getting you into some sticky situations, or some situations where you would maybe rather not be. So there is a certain essence of rushing into things based off of this anxiety or fear or stress and worry about not having a clear vision of what is happening. And that kind of anxiety is what makes you, again, rush into situations before you have truly had the time to consider whether engaging in this situation is even reasonable, whether it's even worth your energy to begin with. I get the sense that you may have been someone when you were younger whose views weren't really appreciated, or whose opinions weren't really validated, or they weren't really taken on board or considered. You may have been kind of steamrolled over a lot when you were younger, and you kind of had to fight for your place, fight to be heard, fight to be acknowledged, maybe even by your peers. Not like, it could be your parents as well, but I'm also getting a strong sense that it was also your peers, that you had to kind of fight for your place. And it seems like that's where this anxiousness is coming from. This need to be in control, this need to have a full picture of things. Because if you don't, I feel like it is striking that nerve in you. It's hitting that nerve. It's hitting that soft spot where these emotions get triggered, where you are kind of taken back to when you were younger and when people were not accepting or were not validating your viewpoints, your opinions, and your ideas. And it most likely made you feel less than. It made you feel like you were not good enough, or like you were not worthy, and almost like just cast aside, not part of a group. So in a sense, this restless mind that is coming through these cards is the result of this anxiousness that you experienced when you were growing up. But in truth, your mind is just like, it's just one part of you. And even if you can't make sense of things, it doesn't mean that something is wrong, or it doesn't mean that you are doing something wrong, or you need to fix something. Because sometimes you don't really have to fix anything. There is nothing to fix. All you have to do is kind of just sit back and go with the flow. But I feel like your restless mind, this need to take matters into your own hands, is so strong in you that it's not allowing you to do that. And instead, it may get you into some kind of more stressful situations. So some quarrelsome situations. Some situations that really kind of push your buttons. And maybe even make you more defensive than you would like to be, in truth. But it's just coming from this wound, this place that gets triggered whenever your kind of the control is taken away from you. But I feel like the positive aspects of your subconscious mind is that you are so very independent and so very individualistic. There is this certain level of awareness, a certain level of attention that you are constantly in as you live your life, and that is allowing you to kind of not miss any opportunities that might be coming your way, because you are so attentive, you are so aware, your mind is constantly on. And because of that, again, it's very rarely that you get sucked into like daydreams or just kind of where you drift into some kind of fantasy land and you kind of lose touch with reality. You seem to be more of a realist. And again, because of that, because you are so constantly aware of your surroundings and your mind is constantly alert, you have a better chance at seizing opportunities that other people may miss, or that other people may not even realize are opportunities. You may notice a lot of things. Again, as I said, I get a lot of air sign energy, but there is also Virgo coming through. And especially with this, like having a very detail-oriented way of being that is coming through, where you just easily notice things that other people may miss. And that is actually a huge benefit for you. It is a huge plus for you. And I also get the sense that, as I was saying, there is a very strong individualistic energy that is coming through. I feel like your self-reliance is embedded in you so deeply that you're not waiting around for anyone to come and complete you. You're not waiting for anyone to come and rescue you or anyone to come and kind of help you. You seem to be very determined to kind of be the hero in your own journey, to save yourself if ever you need saving or if ever you should need saving. You seem to be very much strong in your own capabilities, feel very confident in your own capabilities. And that level of confidence, that level of resolve and kind of self-belief is clearly what helps you move forward in life. It's what allows you to progress. I truly feel that this awakening that you're going through right now, this strengthening of the bond between you and your higher self or the spiritual realm, is solely so that you could kind of have an easier time rather than be so kind of stressed or get so caught up in your mind. I feel that this is a relief to your mind, to your overactive mind, so that you could kind of take a backseat every now and then and give center stage to other intelligence centers in you rather than just your mind, because your heart, for one, is a really powerful one. But I don't really see that coming through like almost at all. So this strong emphasis on the mind, as powerful as it is, it kind of has to be balanced out by other energy centers in you. And I feel like that's exactly what is happening. But let's see what is the aspect in you that needs the most attention right now. Wow, we have entrapment. Yeah, so I kind of feel like this entrapment is speaking of your own mind, that you may be the victim of your own restless mind that tends to drive you crazy at times, because it just gets so intense and your mind gets spinning so easily. There is very heavy, as I said, very heavy like Gemini and Virgo energy coming through. I kind of feel like this awakening is happening to, as I said, to kind of relieve you of this stress, to liberate you from the kind of the tight box that your mind may put yourself in or may put you in at times. To kind of help you see that you don't always have to have all the answers. You don't always have to see the full picture. And things are still going to work out. Things are still going to be okay, even if you are not the one who is behind the wheel. I feel like what you're asked to do here, to work with this awakening, to work with this ascension, the spiritual liberation is actually what I'm going to call it. to work with this spiritual liberation, what you're asked to do is to figure out how it is that you are limiting yourself, how it is that your mind and your own beliefs hold you back. Start trying to notice how your mind kind of takes over in unhealthy ways at times. Like, start trying to recognize your own inner dialogue with yourself, how you actually talk to yourself, what your mind is telling you and about your journey, about what you are experiencing, about what you are trying to achieve and how you're going about it. Because a lot of the times we don't even realize how we actually talk to us, how we talk to ourselves, and how that manner of speaking is actually putting us down, how it is not allowing us to kind of be who we truly are and to live the kind of life that we should truly live, that we truly want to live, that we are truly worthy of living. So in a sense, I kind of feel that this kind of liberation that is happening is like a gift to you from your higher self, or from spirit, from God, whoever you resonate with. It's a gift, but at the same time, you are kind of asked to work with the process, because as I said, it does feel like it is a very overwhelming process for you. It is a very confusing and clearly a difficult process for you, because it is shaking up everything that you know, everything that you're familiar with. Again, where your mind tries to like kind of cling onto things and clamp onto things and try and move the chess pieces that the way that it finds is the most appropriate, or the way that your mind believes the chess pieces should move. But again, you're not seeing the full chessboard. You're only seeing like a few steps ahead at any given time. So how can you possibly put together your whole life strategy if you don't have the full chessboard in front of you, if you don't even know what you are up against? So there is a certain sense of limitation that is happening here, where your mind is putting you in a box. And that definitely needs to be acknowledged. It needs to be dealt with. Yeah, see? Oh my goodness, what was I saying? We have fear and we have extremes. Wow, yeah, these cards are just so spot on. I was talking about this box, but there is this cage that is coming through as well. And yeah, it's I don't even know how to add to what I was saying, because these cards are kind of just confirming everything that I was already talking about, everything that we've already gone through, where it is clear that your mind kind of sucks you into some really weird places. And as I was saying as well, your mind tends to get you into sticky situations. So you kind of really need to watch those extremes, that you wouldn't get kind of triggered and pulled into situations that maybe don't need to even be engaged in the first place, right? To not get pushed into that extreme, to not get pushed into a reaction where one might not be necessary. Sometimes it's just better to take a step back and let things unfold organically. But again, it is very clear that your mind is not really allowing you to do that a lot of the times, because it does get triggered, because it does kind of get into panic mode and trying to kind of handle the situation, even though, again, you may not have all of the information that you need to deal with the situation. So I feel like the main questions for you, again, to best work with this spiritual liberation that you're going through, would be to ask yourself how you are holding yourself back. What are your biggest fears? And really dive deep into those fears. Really confront those fears. Try and kind of take them apart, because you have such an analytical brain, because your mind is so powerful. This most likely is going to be an easy exercise for you. So try and ask yourself these questions. What am I afraid of? And then put down everything that you're afraid of. And then ask yourself why you are afraid of those things. What would happen if those things happened truly? Like these worst case scenarios that you have in your head, what would happen, truly happen? And do you truly believe that you are completely powerless against those things? That if those things were to happen to you, would your life be over? Would you just be like stuck forever and ever and ever and just never be able to do anything about it? Would you just give up on living? Like, what would you do? What would happen? Like, try and actually take your fears apart in an analytical way, in a logical way, and see where you get with that train of thought. Because most of the times, just speaking from my own personal experience, whenever you actually start confronting those fears and truly taking them apart, truly seeing them for what they are ridiculous. Most of the times, the fears that we have, they are not even reasonable fears. They are things that are never going to happen. Or even if we do encounter some of the fears that we have, generally they are nothing that you couldn't deal with. They are nothing that you couldn't overcome. And most generally, they are always tied to something that we believe about ourselves that is not true at all. And that is just not allowing us to acknowledge how capable and how powerful we truly are. So, yeah, again, the best way for you to work with these changes that you're going through is to actually confront your fears, confront these reactions that your mind pushes you into, and delve deeper into them, see where they are coming from. And once you kind of see behind the veil, once you see behind the scenes and you realize where those fears are coming from, usually they are not as scary at all anymore. And you're kind of liberated, in a sense, from this cage, from this entrapment. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it here, pile number 2. I hope that this reading offered you something to think about, something to consider. Hopefully it cleared some things up for you as well. I would really, really appreciate it if you let me know if this pile resonated with you and whether you could apply these messages to your current situation, whether they actually help you in some way. I would love it if you left me a comment or if you gave me a thumbs up, or if you decided to subscribe. I would love it the most to be able to hang out with you in the future. It would be amazing. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching this reading and for spending this time with me. And if I don't see you in any of the other piles, then I am wishing you all the best. Please take care of yourselves, and I am sending you heaps and heaps of love and light. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 3. You guys chose the Lapis Lazuli. Beautiful, beautiful stone. And also, I get a very big royalty vibe from that stone. So, yeah, one of my favorites, definitely. As you can see, we have some more cards on the table as well. But we are going to start with the ones that you already saw in the intro. So these 2 cards are going to show us what is happening with you right now, what it is that you are experiencing, what kind of energy you are most dominantly in. So if the keywords coming through these cards don't make sense to you, if they are not resonating with your current circumstances, then most likely this is not going to be your pile. So, you know, if you want to, you can keep watching for a while just to see whether the subconscious messages resonate better. But if this is not your pile, that is absolutely okay. You can just go ahead and pick another one. But at least these will give you a good indication whether this is something that is talking to you or whether it isn't. So I'm going to put the other cards over here, and we are going to see what kind of energy you are in right now. Okay, we have recognition and reward in reverse. Oh, and patience and planning. Yeah. Okay. So it is evident from these two cards that you may be waiting for the fruits of your labor to actually emerge. You may be in a space where you are kind of getting a bit impatient because you may have put a lot of effort into your work, into your goal, into your dream, but it's just not working. It's just not giving you the results that you are looking for. It may be talking about a specific project. So if you have been working on a specific project and kind of putting a lot of time and energy and resources into it, then it could be that because of the lack of results that you are seeing, you are kind of forced to take a step back, and you've been forced to go back to the drawing board and kind of see what needs to be changed, what needs to be done differently so that you could get the results that you are looking for. But it could also talk about your career more broadly, your passion more broadly, what it is that you do for a living, or what it is that you want to do in this lifetime. And it could be that you just haven't quite made it, you know, you haven't quite got to that point where you feel that, okay, this is it, this is for me, this is where I feel fulfilled, this is where I feel acknowledged, seen, recognized, this is where I feel valued. For some of you, it could have even been that you recently left a job that you feel that you were undervalued in, or that weren't really like appreciating you for you, so you decided to quit, and maybe now you're on the lookout for something different, or you may be even thinking of starting your own business, or like a side hustle or something like that, a passion project. But just generally speaking, it seems that right now you are in this position of like time out, or in this position of pause, of slowing down and reconsidering what it is that you want to do, how it is that you want to do it, what the best way forward would be, trying to make sense of what would get you to your desired results in the most efficient way, in the most beneficial way. Yeah, so there is a certain kind of time out or pause or slowing down that is happening for the kind of the benefit of the future, or for the efficiency in the future. But it is very much feeling like it's talking about your career or your money situation somehow, your passions, somehow something to do with your creativity or your expression, or how you make your money, your living, how you make your living. It seems to be tied to that. But let's see what we actually what we can find out about your subconscious mind. So the first two cards are going to show us what are the negative beliefs or the negative influences in your subconscious mind that are not really doing you any favors in your life, that are holding you back, And then the other two cards are going to show us what are the positive aspects in your subconscious mind that actually do benefit you, that actually have a positive influence on your life. So let's see. We have the Magician in reverse. We have the Three of Swords in reverse. We have the Star. And we have the Queen of Wands in reverse. Okay. So the one thing that I'm seeing very strongly about your subconscious mind that is holding you back is that you may believe that there is not much that you can do, that there is not a lot in your power that you have the ability to change. There's almost this kind of succumbing to whatever may be, or there is an essence of giving up too easily that is coming through here. There is an essence of giving up too easily because you feel like it's out of your hands, because you feel that you are unable to change things. I feel that there is some kind of deep wound that you haven't quite managed to shake, that you haven't quite managed to let go of, that is literally holding you back, that is keeping you from kind of trying new things, or from seeing what you are capable of, from like putting yourself in these situations where you could really test yourself and who you truly are. Test these hidden qualities in you, because there is this notion in you that is almost like you tell that to yourself before you have even begun anything, that you can't handle it, or you're not able to achieve it, you're not able to do it. It may be the result of someone like having made you believe that at some point, having made you doubt what you are capable of, or how you are able to achieve things, or how you are not able to achieve things. But just generally, there is a very strong energy coming through where you give up on things before you have even truly begun them. It's like once you get disappointed in something, or once someone disappoints you, or when you disappoint yourself in some endeavor, if there is even the slightest setback in something, it's like you get so discouraged that you just want to give up then and there. You don't really want to push things any further. You don't really want to invest yourself in it anymore. You just feel like, okay, clearly it's not working. I should just give up on it now. But the truth is that maybe you haven't even given it a fair shot. Maybe you haven't really even tried it out completely before you have decided to turn your back on it and walk away. Again, there's this resistance to see things through, because as soon as some kind of difficulty, as soon as some kind of challenge occurs, you just turn away and you go, you leave. You don't really want to, there's like, you may be afraid of you may be someone who is terrified of confrontation, or terrified of like defending your rights, or defending your views and yourself in general. You may not like feel the most confident in that. But again, it seems to stem from these kind of somewhat limiting beliefs that you have about yourself. I'm even getting a very strong connection to the energy that you're going through right now, because it feels like it's almost this cycle that you're going through, where as soon as you are not seeing the results of something that you want, it's like you start thinking that something is wrong. You start figuring out what to change, but maybe the truth is that you just have to give it time, because no matter what you do, no matter what you take on, there are going to be setbacks. There always are. There are going to be challenges and problems for you to solve and things to kind of get around and figure your way out of. There are always going to be such things. Yeah, there is a strong like escapism that is coming through, or a strong like just giving up on things is basically what is here. That seems to be embedded in your subconscious because there is some kind of false belief in you that you can't handle things, that you can't handle these difficulties, that you cannot surmount these problems that you face. So instead of trying, you just walk away. You just avoid those kinds of situations. But I also feel that that is why you are not seeing the success that you deserve. Because you're not pushing through those tough phases. You're not pushing through those challenges. Because on the other side of those challenges, that's where the rewards are. That's where the results are. But if you turn back before you even get past the challenges, there's no way that you are going to see the rewards that you are after. So this feels like a bigger pattern for you. This feels like a reoccurring cycle that you are in. I'm also kind of getting the sense that there is something to do with your heart space that may be somewhat closed off, or that may be somewhat reserved. I'm also just going to say the zodiac signs that are coming through. We have Virgo and Gemini, and we have also Aquarius. Those two are coming through the strongest. But just most generally speaking, there is a lot of earth here, and there is some air as well that are coming through the heaviest. As I was saying with the heart space, you may think that you are protecting your heart. You may think that you are keeping it safe. But in truth, you are keeping it imprisoned. You are not allowing it to feel, to love, to share. There is a lot of self-restriction that is coming through. A lot of self-discipline, but it is almost to the level of being detrimental to you. It is almost going to the extreme, taking it a bit too far, being too tough on yourself, too hard on yourself. Almost like you're not allowing yourself to mess up. Like you're not allowing yourself to make mistakes. You're not tolerant of that. It's like I'm almost getting this sense that you may require yourself to be almost inhuman, or to work like a machine, or to just be this like proficient, perfect, polished thing all of the time. But again, in truth, like no one is able to do that. No one is able to do that. And you kind of have to start learning to forgive yourself and being more flexible with yourself. Not being so hard on yourself, not being so restrictive, and not expecting so much of yourself. It is okay to mess up. You have to do that. That's part of life. That's how you learn. That's how you grow. You have to start being more lenient with yourself, more forgiving. That's the strongest keyword. More forgiving and more understanding towards yourself. Because right now it seems that you are expecting the impossible of you. And because you are expecting the impossible, there is nothing left for you to do but to just keep disappointing yourself over and over and over again. There's no winning here, is what I'm saying. That's the thing that is in your subconscious that is having the most negative influence on you, that is influencing you the strongest, that is holding you back, is that there is no winning here. You can't win with yourself because you are never going to be able to live up to these unrealistic expectations and standards that you hold for yourself. You're never gonna be able to do that. You're never gonna be able to become this perfect human being that no one can be. And I know that it's very cliche to say that, oh, no one can be perfect, but I feel like at times we just need to hear these cliche messages because we tend to forget them. We tend to get carried away by our own expectations and other people's expectations and society's expectations and our parents' expectations and our friends' expectations, and all of those. We tend to get carried away by those. So at one point we don't even realize what we're doing. We don't even realize the truth of it. We don't even realize that we are trying to be perfect. And we don't even realize how strict we are with ourselves, how relentless we are with ourselves, how little we allow ourselves to be human. I don't even know whether that's a sentence, but you know what I'm trying to say. So yeah, when it comes to you, when it comes to your subconscious mind, there is a lot of doubt about yourself. There is a lot of insecurity there. There is a lot of very walled off heart space. And there is a lot of super unrealistic expectations of yourself, where there is no room for error. No room for error. But again, it's almost like this, you are just like bumping heads with yourself. You keep coming to the same situation where like you can't win because you don't allow yourself to make mistakes, right? But if you don't make mistakes, you don't get the experience, you don't get the knowledge to move forward, to go towards your success. And because there is no possible way for you to kind of test yourself or to push yourself past those challenges, past those difficulties where this growth could happen, you're not really achieving what you want to achieve. You're just constantly in this state of like starting things, initiating things, but then like giving up on them super quickly and then beating yourself up over it. Being so incredibly hard on yourself, being so unforgiving towards yourself. When in truth, you like, nothing was wrong, you didn't do anything wrong, and it's like the only thing that could have been done differently was that you could have just allowed yourself to experience the challenges, to go through them as well or as badly as you were able to, allowing yourself to make the mistakes that you need to make, and kind of learning as you go along. But again, because there is this resistance in you to deal with any issues or to deal with any problems, because you don't want to fail or you don't want to make a mistake, you don't want to mess up. You're so afraid of making mistakes. You don't really get past that point, past that first level. So I feel that you are constantly being taken back to the drawing board, constantly being taken back to square one, starting anew, starting over. But it's, as I said, it's this cycle. It's this pattern that keeps repeating, But now that you know that this is in your subconscious mind, that this is the devil that you are dealing with, it is so much easier for you to break free from this, because you know that all you have to do is to push through these challenges that you're facing, even though you may be afraid of them, even though they may scare the bejesus out of you. You just force through them. And there needs to be this learning that is happening where you are becoming more lenient with yourself, more accepting of yourself and of your own shortcomings, because it's human. And we all have shortcomings. And you can't wish them away by ignoring them or by not accepting them. But looking at the positive aspects of your subconscious mind, we have this beautiful star card here, which is saying that you can truly do whatever you want to do. That there is this beautiful ray of hope, this beautiful ray of light that is within you, no matter what you are going through, no matter what you are experiencing. This hope for the future seems to always stay with you. Even if things are not working out, even if you are facing these disappointments and these challenges and these setbacks, the faith within you is always strong. And that's the thing that is pushing you forward through all of this. Your faith, your strong belief that things are going to work out for you, that things are going as they should, that you will find your way, and that things will happen the way that they need to happen. So this faith, this unwavering faith in you, I mean, it may waver at times, because that's human as well. We all go through that. But in the deepest aspect of your subconscious mind, you seem to believe that there is this cosmic plan for everyone, that there is this destined journey that everyone is on, and you can't really miss the destination that is meant for you. And that seems to be something that is actually really helpful for you, that is truly supporting your journey and your movement forward in life. Because it's what keeps you going, even in the face of all of this disappointment and all of these scary challenges that you face. It's what keeps you going. This faith is also something that allows you to aim higher. It allows you to believe that anything is possible, that dreams can come true, even if you may not necessarily believe in your own abilities all the time, even if there is some questions or some, I should say, questionable beliefs about your own abilities, even if those insecurities are present in your subconscious mind, these beliefs about you that are not actually true. There is also this belief that these bigger forces outside of you, your angels, your support team, your higher self, the universe, that all of these bigger forces are always working with you, that they are always helping you out, that they are always managing things behind the veil to get you to where you need to go, even if you are not actively participating in that in that journey. And there is almost this like childlike belief, or maybe childlike is not the best word, but just unyielding belief that there is something bigger that is meant for you, that there is a bigger purpose for you, that you are here for a reason, that none of this is just a coincidence, that none of this is just like happenstance. There is so much weight in your belief, in your faith in the universe, in your faith in the spiritual. And again, because of that, you are able to progress, you're able to move forward. But again, there needs to be a reassessment of your own relationship to yourself. Now that you know what is hidden in your subconscious mind, what is holding you back, and how you are imprisoning yourself and almost putting yourself in this position where you, whatever you do, you can't win. Now that you are aware of this tendency, you can actually do something about it. You can confront it. But let's see, what is the most important aspect in you that needs your attention right now? We have patience. Yeah, see, we have patience coming out twice. So, I'm getting the sense that, because of the star card over here as well, I'm getting the sense that patience is actually something that you don't have like the biggest issue with. Like, yes, you may get impatient because we all do, all of us, but I feel that you have an easier time with patience than most people. Again, because of this belief in you that things are always going to work out the way that they are supposed to work out. But I feel that this patience is more so talking about patience with yourself. As I was talking, like this whole big spiel that I was describing before about your own relationship to yourself. That's the patience that I feel this card is talking about. It's referring to your own tolerance and your own acceptance of yourself. And again, of your shortcomings. Because no matter how much you try to better yourself, no matter how much you try to heal all of your traumas and get all of your stuff and release all of the baggage from the past and all of those things, you are never going to be rid of all of your, like, quote unquote flaws, the things that you deem that are wrong with you, or that you deem unworthy about yourself, or shameful about yourself, or something like that. Those things are always going to be there because they are a part of you. They are what makes you you, and they don't deserve to be like cast out or rejected or ignored. And even as you are going through your process, even as you are going through this journey of bettering yourself, which in and of itself is a beautiful thing. It is a very commendable thing, and I think the whole world would benefit if every single person on this planet took that as their main goal in life, to become a better person and to become the best possible version that they can be, or the best possible version of themselves that they can be. But again, I feel that you are kind of taking it to the extremes, demanding the impossible of yourself, trying to not be the best version of yourself, but to be the best human being possible, or the best human being there is. And again, as you are bettering yourself, as you are working through these issues, as you are discovering these different traits about yourself that you may not be the most proud of, you have to start developing more gentleness with yourself and with those aspects, to be able to acknowledge them and to welcome them as part of you, to include them as part of you, not to try and cut them off, but to see them for what they are, which are that they are just the parts of you that add color to who you are, to add that add color to your soul, or your person, who you are in this lifetime. They just add color to you. They don't take anything away from you. They don't reduce your value in any way. They just add color. So yeah, developing patience and understanding and compassion with yourself. And again, with your abilities, as you go through, as you work through your insecurities, as you start like strengthening this relationship with yourself, as you embark on this journey of self-appreciation, and as you start tackling these things that are holding you back in your subconscious mind, you do need to have patience. That's all I'm going to say. So I'm not going to repeat it anymore. But oh my goodness, look at that. We have self-reflection and wisdom. I cannot make this up. Wow. Yeah. What was I saying? This whole reading is about you and your relationship to yourself. So these two cards talking about the like the best solutions to your situation. This is literally just confirming everything that I've already said. Or these cards are confirming what I've already said. So yeah, the best thing that you can do right now is to take the time to kind of see yourself for who you are, see yourself for all that you are, the good and the quote-unquote bad, and learn to work with those aspects. Grow from this situation and move forward from a more wholesome point of view, from a more tolerant point of view. Just see those traits for what they are. They are just a part of you. They don't define you. They don't limit you. They are just parts of you. So this is an amazing place to grow from. And I hope that that's what you got from this reading. I'm gonna end this reading here because I feel that I have been talking forever and ever and ever, and I am sorry that I have taken up so much of your time, but I truly, truly, truly hope that this message, that it provided you what it needed to provide, and that it made you see things from a different angle, or that it made, you know, that these messages at least gave you something to consider, to think about, and to hopefully move forward in a more positive way. Because again, right now it seems that you are just kind of going through another flow of this cycle that you are experiencing. So if you're not seeing the results that you are after, take your time, you know, feel your way through the situation and see what the best way would be for you to move forward and to push through any challenges or obstacles that you may face. But don't give up, okay? Do not give up. So, yeah, that's it. I'm truly going to leave it here. I thank you so much for watching this reading and for spending this time with me. And if you did get something beneficial from this, even if it was just one keyword or one sentence, anything, I would really appreciate it if you let me know. You can leave me a comment or you can give me a thumbs up, and I would love it the most if you decided to stick around for future readings. So definitely hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. But yeah, if I don't see you in any of the other piles, then I am sending you guys so much love and light, and I do hope that you take good care of yourselves. And yeah, I'm wishing you guys truly all the best. Bye-bye. And last but not the least, hello, my pile number 4. So you guys chose the Bloodstone, absolutely gorgeous little gemstone that is great for grounding, great for making you feel really centered and really attached to the ground. So yeah, as you can see, we have some more cards on the table as well, but we're going to start off with these 2 cards that you already saw in the intro. And these 2 cards are going to show us what kind of energy you are in right now, what you are currently experiencing. So by these keywords that come through these cards, we are able to look at your current circumstances, and that way you can establish fairly early on whether this is your pile or whether it isn't. So if you are recognizing these scenarios or these keywords that are coming through, then this is most likely going to be your pile. But yeah, if you don't, then it's a high possibility that it isn't your pile, and you can just go ahead and choose another one. But yeah, let's see. Putting those cards on the side here. And we have material and spiritual prosperity coming out in reverse. And fulfillment of wishes coming out upright. It's interesting that we have, yeah, it's a 6. We have 6 and 9 coming out, so they look like 9 and 9 side by side. So that's pretty cool. But wow, what an interesting combo coming through here. So it looks as though you seem to be focusing more on just what makes you feel good, on what brings you happiness, what brings you satisfaction, trying to kind of be in that high vibe energy, trying to be on that gratitude frequency. Couldn't think of the word, yeah, frequency. And maybe like shifting your focus away from material possessions, from your aspirations, from your goals, from everything that you are generally driven to attain, right? It seems that you could, it seems that right now your focus is solely on your emotional well-being. And I feel like it's, and I'm also getting a more specific message that you may have recently gone through some kind of like either some project that you were working on, or some kind of like work related thing, or something that you were trying to do. Something like that kind of fell through, or you, like, let's say if you were trying to get a job, you were applying for a job somewhere, or something that you were working on didn't quite work out the way that you had expected. I feel like it's almost a relief for you in some way, or like you are not overly, you don't seem to be overly disappointed about it, or like too beat up about it. You don't seem to, yeah, you seem to be in such a high vibe place, or at least like you're trying to be very high vibe about what is happening, and trying to kind of keep yourself centered, right? As I was saying with this Bloodstone, it's cool how these, like how the gemstone just like matches these cards so beautifully. It's like you are trying to keep yourself centered and trying to keep your emotions balanced as like things may be happening around you. There's this very, very grounded, very centered, very, very present and very aware energy that is coming through here. Because I feel like it's like you realize that your emotions, like, and how you feel is what truly matters. If you are happy, then that's all that matters, and no one can say that you are not successful. But let's see what we can find out about your subconscious mind. We have these 4 tarot cards over here, and the first 2 cards are going to show us the kind of the negative influences that that your subconscious mind has on your life, these negative beliefs or influences that hold you back. And the other 2 cards are going to show us what the positive aspects in your subconscious mind are that are actually beneficial to your life in some way. So let's see. Oh, wow. Okay, we have the 10 of Pentacles with the Queen of Cups. And we have the 7 of Pentacles in reverse with the shadow side. Okay, that's kind of like the devil in this deck. I'm getting the sense that this, like, emotional satisfaction, regardless of what is actually, like, happening around you, what your actual circumstances are, I feel like it doesn't come the easiest to you. It seems to be something that you really have to kind of exercise or practice. Because looking at this 10 of Pentacles over here, in your subconscious mind, like money and prosperity or material abundance is something that you associate very strongly with happiness, with contentment, with joy. You may actually be an earth sign, especially because of the Bloodstone, which is a stone of Capricorn. And we are actually getting a card of Capricorn here as well. So you could be a Capricorn or you could be any other earth sign. So Taurus or Virgo could be either of those as well. But there is a certain element of like monetary or material possessions that seems to be driving you a lot, that seems to be moving you forward. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling like, okay, these messages are kind of strange. I have to be honest, this pile is kind of like messing me up. All the other piles that were kind of straightforward with their stories, but these cards are kind of contradictory in a way. This is going to be a very specific message if you are a male, or if you identify yourself as a male. Then it could be that the way that you were brought up is that you believe that you need to have something of value to offer to your partner, that you have to have like this level of material security and abundance to be lovable, to be valuable. There is this, yeah, it's like there is this belief that your money or your possessions are the basis of what makes you a good partner, or like it's your duty to look after your significant other in a material sense. There is this certain level of like money and fulfillment that seems to be very closely linked in your mind. But I kind of see the opposite happening here. I kind of see what the thing that you're experiencing right now that seems to be the exact opposite, where you are like learning to disassociate those things, where you're learning to separate your emotional well-being from your material abundance, or from your material possessions, or whatever your material situation is currently. So it's almost like these two cards are talking about the subconscious beliefs that you are in the midst of changing right now, that you are in the midst of breaking or releasing yourself from. So if that's the case, it is amazing because it's kind of like these cards are almost like mirroring each other. I'm also kind of getting the feeling that specifically, like more so in the past, but you may still be experiencing it right now. I'm getting the sense that you may have put your like material prosperity ahead of your emotional needs. You may be having this belief that like money, success, wealth, affluence is more important than what you truly want or what truly makes you happy, where your heart truly lies. And it could be something that has been, again, like almost handed down to you, or that has been embedded in you from childhood. It may have been the way that you were brought up, making you believe that, you know, that maybe your feelings weren't really validated when you were younger. Maybe your feelings were kind of ignored, or maybe you were even made to feel somewhat ashamed of them, or like you felt that you were made to feel that you had to hide them somehow. Because, you know, it's almost like you were brought up in an environment where, like, your duty and your responsibility and everything that is expected of you is always much more important than what it is that you truly want, what it is that you truly desire for yourself. It's almost like those kinds of questions of what it is that you would like to do with your life, or what it is that you want, weren't maybe even asked of you. I kind of like, this is more of a specific message, but I kind of feel like if some of you have inherited a family business, then it could be that you are in the midst of like releasing yourself of that burden and deciding to pursue what it is that you truly want to do, what it is that truly makes your heart sing. So that's why I say that I feel that these two situations are tied to one another, and that you are kind of in the middle of breaking these patterns or breaking these beliefs, breaking free from them. It's almost like it's almost like you know that those are your limiting beliefs, or that those things that you have held on to for so long, these values, the bases from which you have operated and acted on for so long, you may have realized that those are not actually aligning with your own truth at all. There's this certain recognition, or this certain aha moment that has happened for you, that has made you kind of shift your focus from the material to the emotional, or to what your heart is saying. If that makes sense. And I'm especially seeing it over here because we have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse with the shadow side. And because those cards are describing the positives in your subconscious mind, it's almost like you have given up on feeding this demon inside you, or it's like you see your own false beliefs, or your own twisted beliefs, your own restricting and limiting beliefs very clearly. And that has allowed you to start kind of breaking away from this pattern, from these ties. There's just certain, like, there is this huge liberation that I'm feeling with this, and that's one of the reasons why it was so confusing at first to see those two cards come out side by side. Because it's like evident that you are in a very good place emotionally, or at least you are getting to a very good place emotionally, you are in the process of it, but that it has nothing to do with your material abundance, or with your some kind of like earthly accomplishments. And these cards just seem to mirror that. Yeah, I'm also kind of getting the sense that another aspect or another part of your subconscious mind was that you may have been doing a lot of people pleasing. You may have been putting a lot of other people's needs first because you believed that that's the right thing to do. That's part of your worth, or that's part of your value, is that you offer a sense of security, that you offer a sense of like nourishment and encouragement to other people, that you act almost like this support team for other people, or this like cheerleader to other people, where, you know, like, again, where it's like your own needs are pushed to the background. You don't really, it's like you haven't really acknowledged your own emotional needs, because there hasn't been space. because other people's needs have always been put first. There's this like, again, there is this essence of like duty comes first. Duty or responsibility comes first. And like everything else, including your own emotions and your own needs, your own requirements to be happy, to be fulfilled, to be validated, to be appreciated, all of those things come second or third or fourth or whatever the list is. But it seems that there's always been like you having to take a step back, or you believing that you have to take a step back so that duty could be filled out, or that other people could like accomplish their potential or fulfill their potential or something like that. But it's like, I just see your emotions coming second, your feelings, your needs coming second, always being pushed to the background. And especially if you were in a relationship with a very strong personality or a very dominant personality, then I feel like you may have almost felt like you have to provide this supportive environment for them, but it was all centering around them. Like, again, I don't see your own emotions being looked after at all, almost. And that's something that has been truly hindering your movement forward, because you haven't been able to listen to your heart space. You haven't been able to follow where your heart is leading you, because there hasn't been time, there hasn't been the space to do that. You haven't been allowed the space to do that because of what you have been programmed to believe, or what you yourself have believed is truly important, is truly valuable. What has to come first, what the priority is. And for some reason, I don't see you being your own priority. I see material possessions or status or like career achievements, or your other family members, or your significant other, or something like that. I see all of those things being the number one thing, being the priority, and you being somewhere at the back there. But in your own life, that should never be the case. You should always be your own biggest priority, because that way, if you are able to fulfill all of your needs and look after all of your own needs, that's when you can truly be there for other people. That's when you can offer your support to other people. You can't really do that from a place of lack, from a place of like feeling insufficient or having some unmet needs yourself. Okay, so yeah, but again, I feel like I almost feel like I'm talking about things that you are already aware of and that you are already dealing with. So it almost feels somewhat like rudimentary, I suppose. But at the same time, I do feel that that these cards came out for a reason, and you are watching this reading for a reason. So if only to affirm those things for you, or to confirm those things for you, then yeah, it seems that you already know the deal. It seems that you're already aware of what is happening, but this is just to kind of say that yes, yes, you are on the right track, and yes, you seem to have it all figured out. Because especially with these two cards, it's clear that you are not really a slave to your own restrictions anymore. Or it's like you see things for what they are. You see it clearly, and that's why, because you are clearly so perceptive, because you are so good at recognizing where your own kind of limitations lie, or where you hold yourself back, or what your kind of demons are, because you know that it's allowing you to actually do something about it. It's allowing you to change the circumstances as you seem to be doing right now. So this is a very unique reading in a way, because I feel like, as I said, we haven't had that in any of the other piles. It's been fairly straightforward with all of the other piles, but this feels so unique because I feel like I'm talking about something that has already happened for you, something that you have already come to realize, and now you are in the process of experiencing the fruits of your labor, so to say. Oh my goodness, look at that. We have hole in the soul. Okay, so this card is talking about what needs your attention the most right now. And I cannot even say it any better myself. By the way, this is another oh my goodness, my voice is going. Okay, bear with me. Fourth reading. Oh, it does get on the vocal cords. But this is the third 9 that we have, 36 reducing down to 9, and I'm reading this as a 9, even though I know it's a 6 in reverse, but because it's looking like a 9, it feels like a 999, and it's just, I think it's cool. So yeah, we have hole in the soul. And what was I saying all of this time? That your emotional needs have been so neglected, have been so put aside, most likely for a very long time. And I feel like because this is what you were doing now, it seems that it's a very recent discovery for yourself. It's a very recent development for you, where you have started to kind of shift your values and really put a lot more emphasis on what you truly want, what truly makes you happy, and just reveling in that, feeling the gratitude, feeling the joy in your emotional fulfillment, rather than seeking any kind of material gratification or something like that. But again, it seems that neglect of emotional needs has definitely left a rather large gap in your soul. It is something that has to be dealt with, and I do see you dealing with that right now. But of course it is going to take time, because it also took time to embed those beliefs in you in the first place. So it is going to take time for you to get out of those, to break free from those. It is going to be a process. So it is crucial for you to focus on what it is that your heart and your soul are yearning for, and to really pay attention to that this time around. To really start focusing on that. This is the most important thing that requires your attention right now. And it is to listen to your emotions, to listen to your soul, to listen to what it is telling you and where it is guiding you. Because I feel like, again, previously, that hasn't been given too much space. Your soul hasn't been given too much space. There have been other things that have been required of you. So I kind of feel like this is just confirming the same point that I already said. I feel like these cards are just kind of mirroring these same things. So I'm not going to talk about this for too long, because I feel like that it kind of says everything. It kind of says everything. So let's see what the last 2 cards are. Wow, look at that. We have sovereignty and trust. Oh, this is so beautiful. Look at that. Yeah, you are definitely stepping into your own here. Definitely. These 2 cards are showing the kind of the solution to your situation. What would be the best things for you to do in this situation to improve your circumstances? And I do see that honoring your needs, honoring your emotions, honoring the voice of your soul is the best thing for you to do right now. And you do need to have faith. You do need to have trust that you are being looked out for or looked after. That as you are following your soul, as you are following your heart, you are in fact getting exactly what it is that you want, exactly what it is that you need. That you are still going to be successful, that you're still going to be abundant, that you are still going to have all of your needs met in a material sense as well. Not just an emotional sense, but in a material sense as well. You will be looked after. But again, there has to be there has to be trust in that. You have to have faith that your soul knows what it is doing. You have to have faith that your heart is guiding you to the right place, and that you are being supported in the spiritual realm, that this is not just like this solo mission that you are on, and that you have to fight alone, like you against the world. Like it's not that kind of thing. You have so much support around you all the time, so much protection, so much divine guidance around you all the time, and you just need to have faith that you know where you need to go, and that your spiritual team knows where you need to go. And yeah, just keep focusing on yourself, on your truth, on your own destination, and standing strong in that. Focusing on yourself, focusing on what your soul wants, what your heart wants. Like those keywords, those messages are the strongest in this reading. Keeping yourself focused, keeping yourself centered, keeping yourself grounded, right? With this Bloodstone. Keeping yourself grounded, keeping yourself present in your body, so that you wouldn't get distracted by anything external, anything that is just going to take away from your energy. Because you do need to kind of quote unquote fight for this new way of seeing things, for these new beliefs to take root in you. You have to persevere, you have to persist, so that those new beliefs could become like so embedded in you that they overpower these old beliefs that you previously held about yourself and about your life. But oh my goodness, this was such a cool reading. I'm just gonna leave it there. By the way, I also noticed we have 2 5s as well, with the 41 and the 32. So you have a 999 and 55. So pretty cool. But okay, I'm definitely going to leave it here. I don't want to take up any more of your time. But I do want to thank you so much for spending this time with me and for watching this reading. And if this pile resonated with you, if this made sense to you, I would love it if you could let me know. You can write me a comment, or you can give me a thumbs up. Anything to kind of let me know that this was your reading. I would truly appreciate it. And I would love it the most if you decided to stick around for future readings. I truly would love to have you here and to hang out with you again. So please take care of yourselves. And if I don't see you in any of the other piles, then I am sending you guys so much love and light, and be good to yourselves, okay? Bye.